tale of Why Wolves Howl at Thunder, written and produced by Harold Mulholland. In a time long before humans, a time of animal creatures of every sort, a lone dinosaur lived in tranquility. This dinosaur appreciated all of the trees, flowers, plants, and grass that covered the world as far as the eye could see. He thanked Mother Nature every morning for the beautiful gift of life he had been given. As the dinosaur made his way through the wilderness one fine morning, he heard a soft, faint tone. The melody graced the dinosaur's ears, and he was immediately intrigued. Such a beautiful noise could only come from a master of all things sound and musical. As the dinosaur grew closer to the sound, he came upon several other animals, like himself, looking for this wonderful noise. At last, he found the source of the tune. A lone wolf stood upon a pedestal above all the other animals, howling away his magnificent songs. There were animals of every species listening closely, some of them even dancing along. As the dinosaur made his way home, he thought more and more of the attention the wolf had received. He grew more and more jealous each passing hour. "Someday," the dinosaur said, "someday I will be just as good as the wolf. I will sing atop a pedestal, and all other animals will adore my abilities." The next morning, he set out to find the wolf once more. After a long day's walk, he heard a noise, the very same noise that he had heard the other day. He rushed through the woods to find the wolf still singing away. The dinosaur marched to the wolf and asked him politely, "Oh dear wolf, you have to tell me how you do it. I wish to be as good as you one day." The wolf looked down at the dinosaur. He grinned, and he said with a prideful tone, "Your spirit humors me, for there is no other animal that could match my howl." The wolf went back to his song, just as he had stopped, leaving the dinosaur feeling ashamed. As he made his way home, he spoke only to himself. "Maybe I'm not that good enough." Perhaps the wolf was right. However, as the dinosaur laid his head down to rest, the wolf's voice kept piercing his mind. The once beautiful sound had become an itching voice in the dinosaur's head. His anger swelled, and he started thrashing in his bed. "No, I will show that wolf. I will become the greatest musician the wilderness has ever seen. The wolf will one day beg me to teach him instead," screamed the dinosaur. The next morning, the dinosaur knelt and prayed to Mother Nature. "O great deity, I come to you with a request. Make me the greatest musician in all the wild, even better than the wolf." As the dinosaur opened his eyes, he saw a light in the clouds. A booming, yet nurturing voice pierced the sky. "O dinosaur, your anger clouds your judgment, and spite courses through you." The dinosaur replied shakingly, "I only wish to have the ability to outperform the wolf and show him that anyone can be talented." Mother Nature took note. "But dinosaur, don't you see? You are talented, just in your own unique ways. Not all creatures are made to be perfect singers. Find your identity through your own volition, and most importantly, don't let spite fuel your motivation, for it will only lead to your demise." The dinosaur agreed and thanked Mother Nature for her wisdom and forgiveness. In return, she reached her hand down from the clouds and placed a box on the ground next to the dinosaur. "Take this," she announced. "It will help you with your aspirations." The dinosaur opened the box to find an odd-looking piece of lumber. The wooden surface had strings attached to both ends and a long wooden bridge connecting the bodies of lumber. The dinosaur decided to pluck one of the strings, and the sound that followed was one of no other he had ever heard in the animal kingdom. A loud, booming, scratchy note that rang through the woods and echoed across the trees throughout the wilderness. The dinosaur, confused, tried moving his hand across the strings as he plucked away. The melodies that he created and the licks he played were far beyond what an animal could produce, and soon enough the dinosaur started attracting a crowd. Animals from near and far heard his luscious chords and came closer to hear. Far off from the dinosaur, the wolf sat on his empty stage and tried to sing, but the dinosaur's shredding overpowered his now faint vocals, and he screamed at the top of his lungs, but no one could hear him because of the shockwave. And even if they could, they didn't really care about him that much. They just wanted to go see the dinosaur, and that's what they did. Now the wolf was boiling with envy, every molecule of his soul turning sour with anger. The dinosaur kept shredding away, playing tunes unheard of by animal ears. After some time, his strings began to glow, first a soft red, and then a bright blue color. Each string he plucked started to spark. The animals surrounding the dinosaur noticed their hairs start to rise. Every string he... wait, no, I already read that. He noticed as the dinosaur ended his ever-tasteful lick, he noticed the wolf off in the distance. He was whining in the corner of the woods with no one there to comfort him. The dinosaur understood in that moment that his spite had been controlling his emotions the whole time, and even though the wolf had wronged him, he should have been forgiving and let it go instead of stealing his stage. Even with the sudden burst of guilt, his deed had still been done. The last note rang through the clouds, all the way up into the sky and beyond. As the skies gave way, the heat combined with the force of the splitting clouds, and a condensed bolt of electricity exploded the guitar and the dinosaur holding it. The animals stood in shock of what happened. Some say that whenever lightning strikes the earth, it is the dinosaur up in the clouds, rocking on as he plays his electric guitar given to him by Mother Nature. As for the wolf, he continued to envy his enemy's power and howled at the crackling sound of thunder for the rest of his life. His jealousy ran through his bloodline all the way down to the wolves and dogs we see today. That may be just why we observed some dogs and wolves howling at the thundering sound of lightning during storms in the present day. The end.